shot clock winding down. Adebayo's got to shoot it. Head fake, leans in. It's good. Oh, looked like you got fouls as well.
That game just took 5 years off my life. Like, even being up 26 in the first half, I didn't feel like the lead was safe. Being up 15 going in the second half, I didn't feel like the lead was safe. Being up 15 going in the fourth quarter, I didn't feel like the lead was safe. And what do you know? It wasn't. The Miami Heat normally make a habit of losing big leads, but tonight they showed an incredible level of grit and they dug deep to pull out this game, and it's an incredible road win for this team, especially without Jimmy in the second half. Let's talk about it. But before I get started, if you're new here, I'm FLB. This entire playoffs I've been making basketball videos on any other team, but mostly the Miami Heat since they are my favorite team and they made it so far in the playoffs. So if you're a Miami Heat fan, please hit that subscribe button. If you're an NBA fan, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you're not new here and you've watched my videos before and you're still not subscribed, why not yet? Hit that subscribe button. Game overview. Bam with a masterclass 31-10, 6-4 tonight. He heard all the noise about people saying he was being unaggressive and that he needs to step up. Me being one of those people, and he made me eat my words. He put on an absolute amazing performance tonight. Tyler still is on the rocky side, 4-15 shooting, 0 of 6 from 3. Even without Jimmy here in the second half, he still couldn't get it going. He had some ice, or he had his knee wrapped, so maybe he has some trouble there, but overall he just hasn't looked right at all. And hopefully we get a bounce back performance from him somehow in this series, because in a game 4, a good Tyler Hero game giving us at least 25 in Boston would be a huge helper, especially knowing we probably have a Jason Tatum onslaught incoming. But hopefully he starts looking better. This team is different with a healthy Kyle Lowry. He was a large part of the reason why we came out to such a big lead, even with only 11 points tonight on 4 of 11 shooting and 2 for 7 from 3. He had 6 assists, 4 steals, pushing the pace, getting guys in the positions they need to. He was involved in the pick and roll with Bam a lot. That got Bam going earlier on. It's just a lot of the reasons why this game was so easy for the Miami Heat coming out was because of him, and a lot of reasons why we were able to galvanize and not let this lead dwindle to the point where we lost this game is because of him in the fourth quarter. Max even said he was the guy that came with the idea to drop the play for him to hit that big 3 in the fourth quarter that put us back up 4, even though we were already down to 1. Like, the importance he has to this team when he's healthy is a larger part of the reasons why I didn't care that we paid him $90 million. And he showed tonight why, if he keeps playing like this, or even better like this, like play like this while shooting efficiently, this Miami Heat team has a extremely good chance to be champions. The role players stepped it up this game. Max Strus really did play well with Jimmy Butler out, Victor Oladipo. That was some of the greatest defense I've ever seen in my life. Overall, this Miami Heat team played amazing. Let's get the Celtics out the way. Boston didn't look right coming out. They looked flat. The Miami Heat was getting whatever they wanted. Of course, not having Robert Williams in the lineup was very hard, especially with Bam Adebayo wreaking havoc on Al Ford like he did. But to have a performance like that from Jaylen Brown, even though he had 7 turnovers, to basically him almost running this lead by himself all the way down to 1, and with the amount of injuries and then comebacks to galvanize this team that the Celtics had, and for you guys to still find a way to lose this game is a shot in the heart. And I do expect probably a spirited performance coming out next game. But overall, pretty good game from Jaylen Brown. Good game from Marcus Smart, or at least a galvanizing game by Marcus Smart. For people who don't know, the Miami Heat have only won 2 quarters out of the 12 they've played so far, yet we're up 2-0 in this series. And I know Celtics fans don't know how final scores work, but just because you won majority of the quarters in this game doesn't mean you automatically win the game. That's not how this works. But in the 2 quarters the Miami Heat have won, they've outscored the Celtics 78-32. They've had 11 steals to Boston's 4. They have 8 offensive rebounds to Boston's 4. They took 14 more field goal attempts. Boston's been like 1 of 13 from 3, and the Miami Heat were flying the ball around, assisting on about 40% of those buckets. And in those quarters that the Miami have won, Jimmy Butler has scored over 33 points. So making the most out of the spurts you do get as a team and learning the good things that come from those spurts and being able to replicate them for a full game is the reason why the Miami Heat have been so good so far, that even when Boston does go on a run and they win a quarter or they win majority of the game, when they're able to spark up and get that one good quarter, it's an avalanche. And tonight, the obstacles to get over to that was there. Even though we went up by 26, a 30 to 14 free throw disparity, the foul calls this game was absolutely atrocious. And of course, Jimmy not being in the second half would have made this a little bit closer. In the free throw disparity part of it, probably only maybe bring this up to like 21. He averages, I think, about 8 free throws a game, so he definitely would have helped. So the officiating was definitely off. Tyler is still a no-show for this team right now. So Boston, you had that going for you. A 415 performance from him normally speaks doom for this team, because right now the Miami Heat shot 48% from the field. Without Tyler on the court, or if Tyler wasn't playing this game, we'd have shot well over 50% from both the field and from three. Jimmy Butler missing the entire second half, being up 15 going in the second half. I just knew something was going to happen. The Miami Heat have their defenders on Jason Tatum, which is PJ Tucker. They have Jimmy Butler on Jaylen Brown. Like, that's the defensive matchup since it's been working well. The moment Jimmy goes down with that second half, Jaylen Brown just starts going absolutely nuts and uses Max Strus like a damn cone for the rest of the damn game. And as he started hitting those buckets, the crowd completely goes into it. He goes 100%, I think, from 2-point range and like 4 for 10 from 3. Like, he didn't miss a shot from 2. Marcus Smart goes down with a clear ankle injury, then runs around back there, gets some work done, comes back out. A huge galvanizing performance. The crowd goes crazy. Jason Tatum hurts his shoulder, comes back in when the lead is all the way down to 1. The crowd's still going crazy. Just constant obstacles that you need to get over, and yet they still found a way to win this game. I understand blowing a big lead is one thing, but to lose your best player in the entire second half and to still have this spirited of a game in the end, and for somebody like Bam Adebayo, who's the future of this team, to step up the way he did is the beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And I know this will drag the video on a little bit, but I would like to talk about the national media and how horrible it's been. Like, I'm about to show you a clip that's been circling on Twitter on how they've been talking about the Heat. And I'm gonna show you this graphic from NBA TV. This specific one is talking about if the Miami Heat won this game and the Boston Celtics lost this one. Like, you can't just talk about how the Miami Heat actually actually played well this game. It has to be a Boston lost this one instead of we won. And then this clip specifically is the one that pisses me off the most.
Combined, the countdown crew, Jalen Rose and company were just crushing it at the half of game 1. Jalen's going to join us in a second. They took advantage of a depleted Boston lineup. That is for sure. 31-9.
Apparently injuries only apply to the other team, guys. That's what it is, because Jimmy didn't play the entire second half, but apparently injuries on the Boston side, even though those guys always came back, that's the thing that mattered the most. In game 2, when we were without Kyle and PJ went down, oh my gosh, the Celtics are that great. Robert Williams means that much, but Kyle Lowry doesn't mean that much on our side, even though again, him playing this game shows just how much he means to this team when he's on the court. And for the coverage on ESPN and ABC tonight, I can't show some of the clips, they'll copyright me. But for them to just be this deep in Boston's ass, like, it's almost set like it's a Boston Warriors finals. Like, the Miami Heat have to do something incredible or win by luck for them to win this series. Like, that's how it is set in these people's mind right now. Like, Boston's supposed to win this series. Like, it's not a competition even though we're the number 1 seed. And that's just the constant disrespect that irks me. And it's the thing that a lot of people have been asking me to talk about. I hear you, Dre, and fourth quarter. They've been asking me to do it before, and I'm doing it finally now. The national media does need to do a bit better job at covering this team. As of right now, you have Jimmy Butler that's in and out of the superstar conversation, even though he's probably been the best playoff performer still left in the playoffs, while Jason Tatum's being thrusted in it, and he's been so inconsistent throughout the entire playoffs. Overall, they're going to have to respect this when we bring that trophy to South Beach. At some point, they're going to have to shut up and just say that Miami is a good team. But as of right now, just take this to the chin. Don't worry about the national media. You got guys like me. You have guys, certain YouTubers that will be very transparent about how these games are going and how good this Heat team is. You have guys like JJ Redick that's still in the media, and his podcast that will talk about the Miami Heat and talk about just how good this team is. You have the avenues that will talk about this team in a good light, and you don't have to worry about the national media at times, but it is frustrating, I understand, but just gotta power through it as fans. With that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How do you think game 4 is gonna go? My guess is we get a Jason Tatum avalanche again. Jaylen Brown probably looks a little ill-focused, not his best self, but probably does give him some good production, and we probably get a Tyler Hero bounce back finally. I'm hoping, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is FLB. That's my time, and I'm out.